I have with me local business owner, Mr. Lyons. Hoping to ask him a few interview questions and get some insight about the business world.
I'll do the best I can.
All right, Mr. Lyons, could you tell me a little bit about how you started on your career path after high school? And what did you have to do to get to where you are now?
Well, after high school, I went to college, University of Washington, got a 4-year degree in business, pretty much because it was an easy path to take. From there, I joined the working world. It wasn't a particularly good job market at the time I graduated. Ended up working for a marketing research firm in the forest products industry. So what we would do, and it was 3 owners and myself, so I was really the only employee. And we would take on work from, say, a Weyerhaeuser or other companies that were interested in forest products and how they might be accepted in the marketplace. And so I found myself jumping on a plane to Chicago to go interview people. It was kind of a big step for me. After a couple of years there, all the owners quit. They disbanded the organization. I found myself employable again. I went to work for a company called Milgard Manufacturing, local window manufacturer. Worked 12 years there. The first 2 years in sales, selling windows to contractors who were building homes. And then after that, went to work for a sister company called Milgard Tempering, and started a couple of product lines. Started manufacturing heavy glass doors like you'll see at the mall,
Right.
the big frameless doors, and also glass basketball backboards. So kind of took those products from nothing to purchasing materials and manufacturing and marketing and so on. And then finally I got promoted because I did such a good job in those little businesses to a manufacturing location down in California. And it was a 24/7 operation, so 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I was a manager of that location. And so that was kind of my stint with Milgard, so it was a total of 12 years. From there, we started this business.
So, what obstacles have you encountered along the way? And were you able to overcome these obstacles?
You know, some things are natural obstacles for certain people. Me being a white male, you know, society hasn't placed a lot of obstacles in my path. So I didn't have those hurdles to jump over. But I think everybody internally has obstacles that they've got to deal with. There's temperament issues. And so me, I tend to be kind of an introvert. And then to suddenly be put into a sales position, it didn't match my temperament. And so that was an obstacle towards between me and success. And really just had to kind of power through that.
Absolutely. I can understand that. I would consider myself to be more on the introvert side as well. What prompted you to open your own business?
Well, basically 12 years of working for somebody else. And I could see that, frankly, I was a really good employee. I mean, that's my perception of things, but I really think I was. I worked towards the company's best interest, and I could see the things that I was doing were making a lot of money for ownership, and not so much for me.
Right.
And so I saw some obvious value there to starting my own business. Beyond that, you mentioned obstacles. The final position that I had at Milgard was manufacturing a facility, and the obstacle that I ran into was what a lot of people call the Peter principle. And it's, you're successful at this level so that you're promoted, so you're successful at the next level, you're promoted, you're successful up the chain, and so it goes until you're no longer successful. And that really happens to everybody.
Yeah.
And in California, I met my Peter principle. I was promoted into a position that really, my temperament and my skill set at the time weren't enough to be successful.
Right.
And so after 2 years in that position, my boss and I kind of decided it was time to move different directions.
Right. Nice. So, what are some of the things that you like or dislike about your current work, and do you feel that these issues would be similar if you were working in another place?
You know, I would say one thing you got to do is you got to be careful about the industry that you pick. And sometimes industries pick you, and sometimes you pick industries. in my situation, we started a business and the focus was on being an owner and working hard and creating value and success. And so all that sounds really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
But then the business itself is in the janitorial industry.
Right.
And so that is probably not the first place that current college graduates are going to gravitate towards. And you've got to reconcile yourself with products and with industries that you work with and work in. And so that's one of the challenges that we've encountered here in terms of making each day interesting and full of value within the janitorial industry.
Is there anything that you would do differently if you could?
You take a different road and you don't know what the scenery looks like because you didn't take that road.
Right.
There's a road
Absolutely.
that you didn't take and you don't know what it looks like.
Right.
And so if I had taken a different road, things would have turned out differently.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you what that difference is.
Yeah, absolutely. I can understand that. What would you say that some of the traits or qualities should somebody have to be successful in the business world?
I think number one is integrity.
Integrity.
And so if you're going to do something, you need to do it for the right reasons and have the right end in mind. And I think business itself is changing right now. And you see a lot of companies focusing on what they do in the community and trying to build value outside just making a dollar.
Right.
But really the best way to make a dollar is to work hard, work with integrity, do the right things for the right reasons, and just plain get it done.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Are there any technological skills that you feel would be critical for somebody who is entering the business world or is interested in starting their own business?
I really don't know. It really depends on the direction you want to head. Obviously, if you're going to go into software development, you have technological skills that are absolutely required.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, if you're going to start a business and you're going to repair sewer pipes for residential customers when they have a break between the road and the house,
Right.
I don't know at that point how much technological background you need. I think everybody needs to be competent, and so that Microsoft Word and Excel and those basic business software programs that everybody uses, to be able to use those things is very important. And then to have a certain aptitude, so that if you do own a business in the future and you need to purchase a phone system, you're able to analyze what your needs are and what the best product is. We've got a janitorial franchise, and we've got servers, and we got workstations, and we got remote access, and all sorts of good stuff that I've had to learn along the way.
Very nice. Is there any additional advice that you would like to give to somebody who is interested in following this career path?
I wouldn't ask anybody to follow my career path, because that's mine.
Right.
And you may or may not want it, even if you could see the outcome. But I think what you have to do is, in every job that you take on and everything you do in life, you have to approach it like where you want to end up. So if your vision is to be a business owner and to be financially successful,
Mm-hmm.
and to work hard and work smart and be that smart guy that gets stuff done, but right now you're, let's say, washing dishes
Right.
at a restaurant, you've got to wash those dishes like a business owner. So that means making sure that the dish is clean, so that when it goes out to a customer, their dining experience is that much better.
Absolutely.
And it means when the dishwasher isn't functioning properly, you're trying to figure out why that is. And if you see some process that can be changed, you're respectfully presenting that to the management of the organization or the ownership to say, hey, this is an idea I've got. I think it might result in this beneficial result, and you might want to consider doing this. So you're not a dishwasher, you're someone there that's important to the organization. And if you approach every job that way, there's natural progression. You naturally get promoted to where you should be.
Right.
And so in my experience, and I've got this now, I've got people who say, I'll start working harder when I get paid more. I'm not paid enough to put that level of effort into things.
Right.
And the number one thing you got to understand is that your investment, the value that you give to an employer, should not be based on what you're paid.
Right.
You provide as much value as you can, and the money follows the value that you give.
Absolutely. 100%. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Lyons.
My pleasure.
I appreciate your insight on some things in the business world. I think I've learned quite a bit, and I appreciate your time very much.
Brendan, best of luck.
Awesome. Thank you.